of space. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are about 11 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's the StubHub Center in Carson. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start. On first down, Bentley, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, 2nd to last in the entire NFL. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And Denver getting set to take the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
No, Jack, Patriot!
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Simmons. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They'll set up to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Chargers coming out of the field now.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
On 1st and 10. Bentley nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Bentley. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Off play action. Bentley. Wide open receiver complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. To throw. Bentley, he's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also,
back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Off the bootleg. Bentley. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On third down, Bentley. And he's going to go down again. Sua Cravens in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up fourth and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's taken in at the 9. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So the Broncos coming out now. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. He'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they'll run it on the toss. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Now, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's caught at the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Tre'Davious White on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
throwing on first down. Bentley throwing the slant pattern here, complete. He's at the 30. 10. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And now the spin. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touch. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. DeForest Buckner. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go. 319. 319.
In motion right is Robinson.
Leopard. 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 Leopard.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. An update now from Oakland. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So 2nd and 10 here. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Simmons. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll look to throw here. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And to give this time to the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a handoff looking right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Simmons. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And he'll bang that one through. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be knocked down sideways, right at the 20. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Bentley under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On is the Chargers punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos have broken the tie.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first down, Bentley. And some room to maneuver. And he slides to avoid the hit. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. On is the Chargers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Back to throw now in his own end zone. That's complete to Robinson. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The reception good for 7. It's third down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Simmons. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Fresh set of downs here. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And now here's a carry heading left. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Offense in a good spot here. 2nd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
They are, by the way, into the fourth quarter now in Oakland. The Raiders have moved back in front in that game. That has been back and forth all afternoon. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can